welcome back, guys, and welcome for another amazing episode of the Third Shield Pokemon Go PvP podcast. Guys, today I have the one, the only Zyonik with us. And the reason why I'm so excited because not only he's one of the best players, in my opinion, in Pokemon Go, but he's also one of the most consistent players who delivers not only on PvP, but also in video creation and content creation for us on YouTube. So for that reason, I'm very excited to have him. And Zyonik, please welcome to the podcast.
Hey, thanks for having me on. What's going on, everybody? Happy to be here. I love talking about Pokemon, so thanks for inviting me to the podcast.
Of course, I'm absolutely stoked. I've been talking about this to everybody every day. My wife, in the morning, first thing I got up, hey, babe, Zyonik is on the podcast. She was like, who? She's not into Pokemon.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm very excited to have you. And before we jump into anything and everything, I just wanted to straight up ask you, so far, Pokemon Go Battle League, what do you think about it and the evolution of it so far from preseason to all the way till now and how you did in it so far?
Yeah, I think it's a huge success. I think that's the one thing as a Silpharina player from 2019, like when PvP came out in December of 2018, I watched Trainer Tips and Mystic Seven's live stream of a tournament and no one had any clue what was going on. And I dropped 1 million Stardust while sitting there watching on Pokemon that I didn't know would be good. So I've loved PvP from the beginning, and it's always needed online matchmaking. That's where games get good, is when you can compete online against people from the comfort of your own home whenever you want. So I think that's a huge win, but I think there's still another step the game needs to take to be more competitive and to look at it from the main series game where they have a competitive ladder with like pick 6, choose 4, or in this case for us, it would be pick 6, choose 3. I think Go Battle League could evolve one day into separating into casual play and ranked play. So that I think it's great right now, but I think the next step is to provide an esports scene with teams of 6, like Silpharina style, pick 3, and then have the MMR and rating and stuff. And then just like casual online matchmaking, you can practice teams on. So.
I totally agree with you. And then from Silp to begin with, to bring it into actual Go Battle League, that would be pretty amazing.
Yeah, and we saw a glimpse of that with Halloween Cup.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's totally true. By the way, how did you like Halloween Cup?
I loved it. It was so good because it creates metas where Pokemon you would never use before all of a sudden come to light. Like Crustle. No one in their mind would ever use a Crustle any day in Open Great League. And then all of a sudden it's like one of the best Pokemon for the Halloween Cup. So it was fantastic.
Yeah, and I really love that too. That was so awesome and relieving that there's a new meta, just like you mentioned it. That was absolutely new. And well, Ozu was, of course, always good. But
yeah.
But besides that, it was still a brand new meta that everybody enjoyed.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, I wanted to ask you, and I'm pretty sure so many people is wondering as well, that how did Zyonik actually become in Pokemon Go? Like, how did you actually start in Pokemon Go? And then how did you get involved in actual PvP? Like, are you, for example, are you all about PvP or you're also all about catching?
Okay, yeah. So I'll first answer, I'm all about PvP. Literally, all I do is PvP, and I go out and catch. Whenever maybe we go to the grocery store or something like that, I'll catch, or community days we'll go out, but I don't have a set time like, okay, I'm going to go grind for 2 hours every day and catch Pokemon. I don't do that. I do my battles. That's how I get my dust. That's how I get my Pokemon, and I trade because my wife will go out and stuff, and then I'll be like, I need those trades since I need those Pokemon. But how I started was, like I said, I started watching Trainer Tips and Mystic 7 do the PvP tournament, and then I got wind of a Great League tournament for the Silpharina happening in London in January of 2019. So I went down there, competed in my first tournament. Those were my first battles ever in my life. I used a PvPoke I don't think was out then. It might have been, but I didn't know about it. So I just kind of figured out the typings and built a team, and it happened to have Skarmory and Medicham. What else was on it? There was a couple others, but after that tournament, I had so much fun that I came home and I told my wife, I'm like, I'm making videos on this, because I went down there and recorded, and you guys can see on my YouTube channel, the first video I ever uploaded was my London tournament. You'll see my first battles in my entire life. And I had so much fun. And I told her, I'm like, I'm doing this. I'm making videos. And she's like, good. I'm tired of you talking to me about it. So
I actually seen that. So I seen that video, and I just want to bring it up to people who just started in PvP. This was basically fast moves, right? Right here.
Yeah, yeah.
It
And then
wasn't
the
actually.
3 ring, you had to constantly tap super hard to build up to 3 rings instead of doing a mini game. So yeah, you got carpal tunnel playing in PvP tournaments.
I can totally see that. Well, I'm happy
Yeah.
you made a decision because you have changed many people's life, including myself, because I got into Pokemon Go watching your videos, and I had no idea, by the way, whatsoever, that there was PvP scene in Pokemon Go until Go Battle League actually came out. And then, of course, the internet works in mysterious ways with keywords and everything.
Yeah,
Somehow you popped up once I started playing Pokemon Go in Go Battle League, and then after that I was hooked, and I basically learned everything from you.
that's awesome. I'm glad I could help.
Season 5 and season 6 in a way
Yeah.
that obviously season 5 was basically a preseason, let's call it,
Mhm.
because they're making so many changes.
Yeah.
But how did you walked into season 5? Did you have any expectations, or you were relaxing, or was it just like, a stepping stone?
Yeah, so knowing that they weren't going to have rating and they were going to do 1 to 10 based on wins alone, we just didn't know what that number was. But seeing as people were getting to rank 8 and 9 on like day 2 or day 1 or something, I knew that, okay, rank 10 is going to be very, very quick. And for anyone who's never made it to rank 10, each time you rank up, whether that's 7, 8, 9, the Stardust that you get from that rank increases with each level. So when you get to 10, you're going to make more Stardust than you did by getting wins at rank 9. Obviously, if you go 5-0 at rank 9 and 0-5 at rank 10, you're going to get more dust by going 5-0. But if you go 5-0, 5-0, the rank 10 dust is dramatically bigger. So what I wanted to do this season was, first of all, build some strong teams that didn't cost me a lot of dust. So that first week with the Little Cup, seeing how good Bronzer and Wynut were, I knew everyone was going to gravitate to that because why wouldn't you? They're phenomenal. So in order to save Stardust, I had to go with single move Pokemon that could handle those metas. So I, went with like Vulpix and Nikata and Seal and Drifloon and stuff like that who had playability. And as long as you, did good swaps and energy management and everything, you could kind of come out on top against those double move bronzers that cost someone 250,000 dust. So that's basically how I'm treating season 5, is doing my best to save dust and doing my best to do all my sets every single day because it's so much free Stardust that you guys can get, and you don't have to have the bronzer, right? You don't have to have that in order to get some wins. So that's how I haven't treated it. And I think it's been fun. It's been casual. But yeah, I think it's a great opportunity to prepare for season 6.
And I wanted to circle back to that, since you mentioned Stardust and Stardust grinding, and then you don't usually go out to actually grind.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to circle back to it because there's so many players like that, and there's so many players who always say, I just don't have the time to grind like Zyonik. They even say that, you know what I mean? They don't know that you
Yeah,
don't actually grind. You know
I
what I
don't
mean?
grind. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I'm really excited that you said that. And I don't like to go out and grind either. So the Go Battle League is super exciting, and it's so awesome that you can get so many Stardust. And what I wanted to also ask that, so what would you tell people who right now, let's say they are rank or level 40, and then, the new rankings coming up and the new leveling is also coming up, and then we're
Mm-hmm.
going to need tons of Stardust. So
Yeah.
are there any thoughts in your mind that you could give, like any advice to them, that how should they get their Stardust, and how should they even manage it? Because just give you one example, FP Sticks, I remember when he told me once that, oh man, I'm so low on Stardust, I'm gonna have to grind. And then I asked him, what's low for you? And he goes, oh, 1.8 million. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, well.
Low for me is 0. So yeah, so when it comes to grinding dust, I like to optimize or leverage big events to their full extent. So for example, community days or double dust or triple dust. So like say we have a community hour and it's double Stardust, I'll go out for that. Double Stardust is always nice, right? Or if it's community days, I try my best to optimize that. I make sure I have some star pieces. So I'll buy a bundle that gets me like incubators, star pieces and whatnot. So that way I can hatch eggs, use the star pieces on those hatches while catching Pokemon and really get 300K from a community day. And if you play the whole time, maybe you can get 500K plus. So I leverage that. I make sure to do all my sets if I can during the day because every bit of Stardust counts. But there's also, you guys got to remember, I've been PvPing since December of 2018. So my Great League roster is drastically bigger than a lot of other people may personally have. I think I have well over 120 double move Pokemon in the Great League. So when it comes to investing in new Pokemon, it's easy for me to go, all right, I'm going to max out a Toxicroak for Ultra League because I don't need anything in Great League right now. I have those Pokemon. So what I would say is if you don't have all the Pokemon, kind of like I do, you don't have a depth of roster, just be sure to leverage your events and choose your teams wisely. You guys don't have to use every Pokemon that anyone shows in a video. What you need to do is find yourself a team of 3 that is solid, has a great reputation, maybe made by like Caleb Pang or something, or other great creators. Get those 3 Pokemon and then grind that team until you master it, because then you're going to get yourself more wins. You're going to save yourself dust. And then when the new season comes out, like you could invest in the Greninja if it's a really good, or Aegislash, right? Which King is like freaking out about. And I didn't know it was that good, but you know, invest wisely, and just leverage events.
That's a really good point, because I've seen so many people, including myself, watching a video and I'm like, oh man, that Pokemon is so good. But then it turns out it wasn't the Pokemon, it was you who was actually good using it.
Yeah, I mean, so I think Pokemon all have their capabilities, but they're maximized when there's a good understanding of its potential and what it can do. And that can be done by you guys too. Like if I'm like today, a video will be dropping here in a little bit about Rapidash. And I think it has some really great play in the meta that we see in Kanto Cup, because a lot of people are running a Alolan Muck and a Alolan Marowak, which it has Drill Run for, and it can massively destroy those things. Plus the Incinerate and the Flame Charge really add up. So it's about just understanding what's happening in the game, energy management, shield management, and how you can close out battles that makes a Pokemon very, very strong. And that's learnable. I learned it. I was terrible when I first started. I watched King. I learned from King. And then from there, I started to develop and get confident myself, and whatnot. So, yeah.
So speaking of learning, so how did you actually? Well, you already said you watched King and everything, but how did you actually, from the basics? Obviously, you did one tournament, and then after that tournament, you were like, all right, I'm in. So how did you decide that? All right, I'm going to get better, and this is how I'm going to do it? Because I don't think you mentioned PV Poke wasn't around, or you didn't know it yet.
Yeah,
so
I didn't know about
back
it,
then,
yeah.
I would love to know how you actually, practiced or figured out what you're gonna use and all those, because I already feel lost.
No,
You know what I mean?
this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. So in order to learn, I recorded all my battles from the tournament, and what I really preach to anyone who kind of asks, like, okay, how are you getting better? It's self-reflection. You need to record your battles, no matter how disheartening you may think it is. Maybe you're like, all I do is go 0-5. I'm not that good at this game. I was terrible once too. I was also once bad. But what you have to do is understand, like, okay, I'm bad right now. It's fine. What I'm going to do is learn, and we're going to record your battles. And then what you want to do is after that, you need to watch it over and think about what you could do differently. Because when you're in the moment, your decisions are different than they would be after the battle. So I'll see, and this happens, basically, this happens for me when I create my own videos. I'm watching my own battles and commentating on them. Therefore, I'm learning about what I could have done better. So that's what you guys need to do as well. I mean, you don't have to make YouTube videos. You can if you want. But if you want to learn, you got to rewatch your own battles and think, what could I have done differently? Should I have shielded here? Should I have done 2 more fast moves here? Stuff like that.
That's gold, what you just said, because here, let me show you something real quick. So right here, this thing, for example, this is, well, it's getting green, but there we go. So that's a notebook that I literally have next to my phone when I battle. Yep. And that's my battle notebook, and that's where I keep my notes, what I need to adjust and work on. See,
I got a notebook too.
That's literally how you get better.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you write stuff down, you theory craft, you do it all. But how I practice, because there wasn't remote battling with friends, and I really didn't have PvP friends. I took my wife's account and her phone, and I needed to know how strong a Pokemon was against other Pokemon. So I'd battle like if you look at my old videos of like me preparing for the Twilight Cup and you see me doing battles, that's me fighting myself with my own phone and my wife's phone. So I have two phones and I'm tapping right here to learn, okay, how much does Frenzy Plant do to a Azumarill? And I was tapping and playing that way, battling myself with my wife's account, which was hilarious. But yeah, that's how I started practicing.
You know, that's hilarious. And you know, that makes me think also because was it last year or the year before when King and Poke AK faced each other in a tournament?
That was last year. It was
Last year.
2019. Yeah.
So the reason why I wanted to bring that up, because there you can, if you watched all the battles, which I'm pretty sure you did, but you can actually see that some of the players, since you mentioned you didn't know how much damage it will do to an Altaria or whatever, or a Venusaur, you can clearly see that some of the players are like, oh, I didn't expect that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that's the game. The players who reach the highest levels and the highest ranks typically have the biggest knowledge base. They know everything that's going to happen before it happens. And that just comes from experience. That comes with sitting on PV Poke. That's another thing. Watch your videos and you need to be doing simulations on PV Poke. If you never run a simulation of Alolan Muck versus Alolan Marowak, or maybe Electrode versus Alolan Marowak, and I ask you right now, how much does Foul Play do to an Alolan Marowak? And you don't know, that's when you got to kind of start, okay, let me do some research, especially if you're using one team and using 3 Pokemon. You need to know everything that you can do to your opponents and how much they can do to you. So I know a Voltorb can, or not a Voltorb, I keep on saying that, Electrode with Foul Play can do 50.3% damage of Alolan Marowak's health. So I know 2 Foul Plays KO it if I have back-to-back, right? And that just comes from research, experience, and whatnot. And that's what I would encourage you guys to do, because knowledge is power in this game.
Oh, that's gold. And that's why so many players who are on the top, they always say that, you know what, just pick 3 Pokemon you feel comfortable and like playing with and just learn the ins and outs of it. And, you know, so I'm getting more excited talking to you. So I wanted to bring up the esports. And before we get into esports, just one step before that. So already, with all the changes and everything that we are seeing, and it becoming more competitive, if I'm saying it right, Pokemon Go Battle League, then what do you think right now, as of it, with the new changes that are coming in Season 6? And then after that, let's get into actual esports.
Okay. So the changes coming to Season 6, what we know is that they're going to have a new ranking system. So currently, we see a ranking system of 1 to 10. In previous seasons, it was 1 to 7 on wins and 7 to 10 based on rating. So, you know, 2,000 rating, 2,500, 3,000, etc. Season 5 was a nice break from rating so that everyone can get Pikachu Libre. I think that was the kind of goal they wanted to have. Season 6 is going to have 1 to 24. Now, 1 to 20 are going to be wins alone. 21 to 24 are going to be rating. And how I like to view this in my head is 1 to 20 is the new 1 to 10, and 21 to 24 is the new beyond that. That's going to be the end game, the rating, the leaderboard kind of stuff. So we'll have to see what they do with rewards, but we also know that seasons are going to be 3 months long, because they said Pokemon Beyond seasons, so like winter season, is going to be 3 months, and then spring, summer, fall, etc. And Go Battle League will correspond with that. So now we know Go Battle League season, so Season 6 will be 3 months long. That's kind of worrying off the bat, because then you think, how are we going to do a month-long worth of Master League? That's like my first thought, but I don't think they would do that because they know a lot of people don't play in Master League. So I imagine we're going to see a lot of league rotations, and we may see some special stuff like Halloween Cup was for Season 4. I think we may see stuff like that possibly in the mix. So yeah, I think that's a nice start to get a consistent structure for the potential of esports, because seasons need to be the same. And we know it's going to be 3 months long. It's going to have A, B, C, D, E, F, G happening, and then it's going to be the start of a new season. That way you can grow and develop. If you can't get to rank 20, you know, okay, next time I need to be doing 3 sets a day instead of 2 sets a day. That way I can get to 20 and get some rewards and stuff. In terms of esport, I think the game is in an interesting place right now. Niantic always develops some great stuff, but they roll things out slowly. So it took a long time. Like PvP came out in 2018 at the end of it. Go Battle League didn't come out for another like 15 months. So it took them 15 months to get online matchmaking for a feature they already had. So I imagine with esports, firstly, the game needs to be better balanced when it comes to server lag and critical issues that cause wins and losses in battle. Everyone knows that. You get. I'm not preaching, or I'm preaching to the choir, I guess, because you guys all understand that. So that needs to be firstly addressed. And then we need to develop a better in-game scene, like I mentioned earlier, with the pick 6, choose 3, because that's how competitive structures are built. That's how the Soph Arena, like if you have never battled in the Soph Arena yet, a lot of Soph Arena players are the players who hit rank 10. There is a correspondence, and it's for good reason, because people have competed in the Great League and done so many battle simulations and battles. Like some people have 7,000 wins plus before even Go Battle League came out. I think it was For the Battles, if you guys know her. I believe before Go Battle League came out, she had 7,000 wins in the Great League. That just goes to show how much experience. I don't even have 7,000. I have 2,400. That just goes how much experience players in the community have. And I think having a pick 6, choose 3 format will help create an esport. And we may see that in the future. Maybe it'll be another 15 months from now, but I think that's where this is heading.
That everything you said is just sounds amazing. I'm actually look forward to that, and I hope it's actually going to happen the way you actually said it.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Yeah. And well, when esports happens, what do you think? How is it going to change your perspective on the game and maybe your play style, or do you want to be involved? And I myself answering this question, but where do you see yourself in esports?
I would see myself creating content around it. So maybe like shoutcasting some major tournaments and stuff like that. I love PvP. I love coaching people on PvP. I love making content, but I also love shoutcasting because it's just so exciting and exhilarating. And if anyone here is listening who watched the Soph Arena, maybe you guys saw the first on like live stream tournament from Soph Arena where we were down in Argentina. We saw the regionals there. That was exciting. That's where Marto Galde came out of nowhere and destroyed the tournament. And then we saw Chicago Worlds for Soph Arena. We saw European Worlds for Soph Arena. And that European Worlds one was crazy. There was a hotel lobby room packed with 300 people, booked out, thousands online watching, and we were just watching the best players in Europe battle against each other. It was phenomenal, and that's where I see that's where I'd like to be when it comes to esports, is to be shoutcasting the tournaments.
And you would be really good at it, because I've been watching your shoutcast, and it's very entertaining.
Thanks.
So for people who don't really know much about the Go Battle League or just the Silp Arena and also esports, I just want to bring up something real quick, is that if you Google basically Poke, AK, and King on YouTube, their battle, the only reason I'm mentioning this is because we can clearly see the potential for an esports game. And then what you just mentioned with the hotel room with 300 people and thousands of people watching, and that is without any advertising whatsoever. I mean, Niantic does not say a single thing about it. It says you gotta catch them all. That, you know what I mean? That's all they say.
Yeah.
So and potential is there.
It's there, and that's why I said I think this is a long haul journey. We're on a marathon right now. It may feel like we're sprinting and like this is the end of the road. Like I'm like, no, this is like we are on the tip of the iceberg. You guys don't understand how amazing this could be. Think about when Pokemon Go first came out in 2016. I'm sure a lot of you guys were on that hype wave. Every single person that I knew, friends of mine, coworkers and stuff, were playing the game. So imagine if Go Battle League becomes a bit more balanced and structured when it comes to its operation and gameplay. It has big social backing because we see someone like Ninja. I'm sure you guys know Ninja, the popular streamer. He's playing and he loves it. Hopefully lag isn't getting him, because that would be kind of a bad thing if he starts complaining about lag. But I think, like you said, the potential is there, but I think it's just going to take time. We're in a marathon right now. And talking with King about it, I think this is a building year, and I think next year is going to be a building year, and maybe 2022 when, maybe vaccines are out for around the world for coronavirus and we can all kind of come back together. You guys, mega tournaments before Go Battle League were phenomenal. There'd be, 700 people at a tournament for one champion. And it was absolutely nuts. And that was before anyone knew about it. Now people know about PvP. So could you imagine a Go Battle League mega tournament happening in London, you know, or something like that, and thousands come to compete? That would be so much fun.
Yeah, that would be. I'm literally picturing that because I really think that's going to be amazing, and I really hope it happens soon. But of course, now everything is on pause. Besides the online, so it was almost like it's good for Pokemon that we went to this online route because it was growing very slowly with the walking requirements and everything. And which, speaking of that, what do you think about because Niantic still has it in there in like small letters that the walking requirements is not required right now, but they say right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so when Go Battle League first came out, you had to walk for it. And at first, I think, wasn't it like 5 kilometers? Yeah, it was 5 kilometers, and the community flipped because I don't walk 5 kilometers a day. Not a lot of people walk 5 kilometers a day. So it went down to 3. And 3, I think, was manageable because, you know, you're out and about at work. You can get that, what is called Adventure Sync walking, so you can get it. And then you get 1 set. Now, I think we've been spoiled because we've been consistently doing 5 sets that we think like that's the norm. The norm will be you guys got to walk to battle. So I spent preseason, season 1, season 2, season 3, not doing all 5 sets a day, thinking, okay, we're going to have the walking come back, and I don't want to get comfortable creating content, having 5 sets to do. I want to focus myself on 2 sets. So I'd only do 1 to 2 sets a day, and I have to make content on that. But now I'm like, okay, maybe coronavirus isn't going away, and I've been missing out on opportunities for Stardust. So I think take advantage of the opportunity while it's here to do 5 sets, even if, because rating doesn't matter right now, obviously. So even if you can't do a hardcore like 5 sets and focus, maybe you do 3, and then you're like, okay, I'm just going to put in Pidgeys, 10 CP Pidgeys for 2 sets and just get the dust real quick. Like, do that. That's extra dust that you guys could have. But when walking comes back, I would suggest you guys find some kind of structure where, you know, maybe you go for a walk in the morning, catch some Pokemon, do some exercise, and then get a set in, head off to work, get some kilometers so that by lunch you guys can do another set. And then, you know, the afternoon you're walking around and you can have a set for the evening. That way you can do 3 sets a day. That would be my advice, is try to structure your day around optimizing walking with doing GBL on times that you can.
Yeah, and what would be great also if you could stack your miles. So let's say you could unlock, you know, the sets if you walk 10 miles, because you don't. I would hate that if I'm morning, let's say I'm so active in the morning, let's say, you know, and I unlock my 2 kilometers, but then when I get home I can finally battle, but no, I'm not gonna walk anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, yeah, I hear you.
But so season 6. Do you have any plans for season 6, even though we don't know much about it and how it's gonna start?
Yeah.
But do you have any plans for it?
My plans are to right now save as much dust as I can. And I was doing good. I haven't been over 1 million in a long time, and I've never been over 500,000 in a couple months. I got to 700,000 the other day, and I'm like, unlock Rapidash, powered up. Unlock Electrode, powered up. I'm like, oh, there's 200,000 dust gone. Oh man. So for season 6, I'm doing my best to hold dust because we have Gen 6 coming. We don't know if there are going to be PvP updates. So far, the last couple of seasons, we've seen PvP updates where they introduce Incinerate. They upgrade Power Sting. They upgrade Poison Sting. They upgrade Powder Snow. You know, what's going to happen in season 6? We don't know. And so anyone that's asking me, what do I do? What do I power up? I'm like, you hold. Like, you hold dust. And I like to reference this for any of my Game of Thrones fans out there. I love Game of Thrones. There's a character on there called Hodor, which he says, hold the door. You guys will know that. So I invoke at this time Hodust. We will hold our dust because you don't want to spend anything right now, because what may be good on the rankings may not come season 6. So.
And what rank will you aim in season 6?
Oh, rank 24. Gotta try to go for 24. You gotta try. Now I don't know what that entails because, oh man, 24. I don't know if that's gonna be the equivalent of 3,000 rating, or if it's gonna be the equivalent of like top 50 on the leaderboard. like we don't know, but obviously you got to go for the highest rank. We all know that if you consistently play, you can hit rank 20, or like right now you can hit rank 10. So I think just always go for the best. Like I'm going to get 24. Like you just got to go for it.
That's right. And I think I read it right, but it looked like that there were different rewards for different tiers from like rank 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. Is that correct? Did I see that right, or you don't know either?
I don't know, but I would imagine so. Just like there was different rewards for 7, 8, 9, and 10. I imagine the rewards. There's different titles, is what I know it said. So it have custom titles. So instead of being rank 21, it's going to be some kind of custom name. So hopefully they're pretty cool, and you can flex those on your character or something.
That's right. So that would be actually pretty cool if there are titles, because Speedios Chief 2, if you guys don't know who he is, he's basically the champ of Silparina.
Mm-hmm.
And he uses his Pokemon to name it the champ, so
Yeah.
people know that's, well, I will say if you watch PvP, you know who he is.
Yeah.
But it would be pretty cool if you actually have the titles and you earn the titles through Go Battle League, and it's like under or above your name or whatever, with a new logo or something.
Yeah. That would be awesome.
I like that a lot. Yeah. So I wanted to ask you this also. So is that true that you're able to hatch a 9-kilometer egg? I'm sorry, 9-month egg?
Oh, am I allowed to hatch a 9-month egg? Yeah, we're pretty good at doing that. Yeah.
So, first of all, congratulate. Well, it was months back ago, but congratulate on your newest child.
Thank you.
And that's why I wanted to bring it up. And then, is he or wait, she or he?
She. I have a 13-month-old and a 2-month-old.
Yes, congratulations again. And are they already into Go Battle League? Because I saw that you said they were battling. I mean, not they, just one of them.
Yeah. So my son likes catching Pokemon. So we'll pull out my phone, and we have like 3 house spawns that we have. And when we go, we turn on the game, he gets really, really excited. And then when the Pokemon comes on the screen, he's like putting his hand on the screen. So we go to catch it, and I hold his hand and we throw the ball. And then he gets all giddy when it's counting to 1, 2, and 3. And then we catch it, and he's like, ah! And yeah, so he loves catching the Pokemon. And, if they get into PvP and get into Pokemon Go, that'll be great. But obviously, you never know what kids are going to be into as they grow up, and I'm sure they're going to go through so much stuff. But right now, he loves catching house spawns, and anything that we catch, I nickname it to his name, so that way when he gets his own account, I can trade it over to him in the future. So because he technically caught the Pokemon, so it's going to be his.
That's awesome. I love that, and I feel so funny right now because it's almost sounds like we're living in a different world, obviously. But what I'm trying to say is that we talk about basically Pokemon Go and PvP like 50 years ago. Our parents talked about basketball or playing hockey or football or whatever, and then how the games are changing everything. It's just pretty cool. I like where it's going.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is next for you? So where are you heading with coaching, creating content, or what are your goals for, let's say, 2021, since you're very close to it?
Yeah, I think I'm looking into bringing in a video editor to help me create more content, because the more I'm doing this, the more I'm realizing I can't push out as much content as I used to, because obviously, I got kids and a family, so I have a limited amount of time. So if I can shoutcast, let's say 3 videos in a day, I can do 3 takes on 3 different videos, and then get them to the editor, then I can upload 2 videos on one day to, bring more value to you guys, so you guys can see better teams quicker, because right now I'm like backlogged. So I did battles on Monday that you guys are going to be seeing today. So it's kind of, it takes a while, and then the teams maybe aren't as relevant because metas change and stuff like that. So I think that's the next step. And then also I want to not only do Pokemon Go, but start doing other content, which I started a new channel, because I love other games too. So I love games like Destiny, which just came out with the Beyond Light expansion. So I play that every now and then with my friends. There's the Cyberpunk 2077 that everyone's excited for, and I'd love to dive into that. So I think creating a general gaming channel as well, to showcase some stuff, and maybe I find another game that has a great passion with me as well. That way I can do Pokemon Go PvP because I absolutely love it, and do maybe Cyberpunk 2077 because I absolutely love it. So I guess that's what's with 2021, is to uptick the videos for PvP and create something new along the way.
Ah, that's awesome. Happy to hear that. And you know what I was going to also ask you with this going into it is that are you going to test out or maybe even stream? Well, let's just start with play the new Pokemon League of Legends type of game. I forgot what it's called, but the
Oh, yes. Pokemon
yes,
Unite?
yes.
Yes. Yes, 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 yes. I bought a Nintendo Switch because of that. Yeah. I'm really, really excited to play that. I loved League of Legends. I played the first, I want to say 3 seasons of League of Legends. I got myself out of Bronze Hell. I actually got to Gold 1 support. Sauna support was my main. So I love that genre of gaming, but just my life went a different direction. I joined the military and stuff, so I couldn't game as much, and I found other games. I found Destiny and stuff like that. But I love that genre, so seeing it come to the Pokemon universe, I think is going to be a lot of fun. Obviously, I'm worried about character paywalls because we all understand when new characters come out, they're definitely really overpowered typically, and they're behind somewhat of a paywall unless you've been saving resources. So I'm kind of worried about that, but the gameplay I think looks phenomenal. It's going to be a lot of fun. Shoutcasting people's games or epic plays I think could be a lot of fun. So yeah, I'll be diving into that. I'll be streaming it. I bought a Nintendo Switch waiting for this thing to come out. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm super excited for that too. So I'm happy to hear that you will be doing it for sure.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Where can people get in touch with you or find you right now?
I think one of the best ways to get in touch with me would be Twitter, tagging me on Twitter. I'm pretty good at responding to most tags. I obviously can't see everything, but I do my best, especially when people have questions, or a lot of people recently have been posting they got ranked 10, which is huge. Congrats. Don't let anyone take that away from you. This is a fun season to get Pikachu Libre, and getting to rank 10, that's awesome. So that's probably the best way to get a hold of me. People, you can find me, YouTube, Zyonik, Twitch, Zyonik, Twitter, Zyonik, and Instagram, Zyonik. And then I'm also on the Battle Park Discord, which is linked in the description of my videos. It's a fantastic PvP community that has a raid robot, I guess, that can help you find members to join your raids, which is really awesome. And I pop in there all the time. Haven't done raids recently, but I went hard on Giratina. And I went hard on Giratina. And you guys, if any of you guys were in there, you saw me in there. I was getting Giratina raids left and right.
That's awesome. And I will make sure to link it in, guys. So if you're watching or listening, it will be in the description so you can get in touch with Zyonik. But it's easy to remember. It's basically everything/Zyonik. And what I want to bring up, is there anything else that you would want to say to the community, to anything whatsoever you want to share, or any finishing thoughts before we wrap up this podcast?
Yeah, sure. I think there's always potential for a lot of toxic thoughts and words to be shared around the community, especially around PvP, whether it's achieving rank 10 right now or running a certain team. And what I just want to say is do what makes you happy, right? If you want to run Bastiodon, Shadow Gloom, and Shadow Victory Bell, you run it and you enjoy it. And on the other hand, if you don't like facing that, then build your teams to account for that, guys. If there's something that really bugs you and you can't beat it, adjust your teams accordingly to be able to handle that. And just have fun with it, and don't put other people down. Everyone is here to learn. Everyone here is here to have fun. So always be uplifting, be positive. And yeah, that's what I would say. It's just have fun and be good people.
Very well said. And I hope everybody took a note of that, because if we do that, then we all gonna be some happy couple battling players.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. Thank you, Zyonik. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you coming on the podcast.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I love it.